Welcome back to the Brain Heal Project. I'm trying to fix my cognition issues, which are very more than likely caused by my phone use. We've got a nice, comfy night vibe to this video. I'm being realistic and trying to record it now because I have a bunch of ideas I want to get out there, and I know that I'm not going to wake up at 6 a.m. So that's where I'm at. So here we go. Let's get this out there. It's been over 3 days since I quit watching YouTube shorts and Instagram reels and started following the rule that if I'm going to watch a video, I need to watch it for at least 5 minutes. And if the video is less than 5 minutes long, I can't click on it. The longer form concentration and attention span that these rules have required is definitely resulting in more clear, concise, and positive thoughts, actually. I feel less confused, less foggy, and more positive, happier. And I'm not falling asleep feeling fried and completely zapped and scatterbrained, which was happening with the short videos. Ideas are coming to me more clearly, and I'm getting more ideas, and I'm not rejecting ideas. I'm actually open to them. And I'm allowing myself to form like complete ideas, complete thoughts in a way that it was harder to do 3 days ago. I'm craving more knowledge, which I know I have to continue on this journey in order to train my brain how to better receive this knowledge, because that's part of the cognition issue is my memory, the forming of memories and retaining information has definitely been impacted, and I want to reverse it. So a bunch of very interesting things happened today. Number one, I started reading a book called Your Stone Age Brain in the Screen Age. I'm gonna link that book below. But I just borrowed it for free in the Libby app, the library app, Libby, which you can do if you have a library card. I was thinking about this channel and what I'm doing and how it's all so far based on my intuition of the problems that I have and how to fix it, and lightly on research that I've seen around, but nothing, that concrete research backed. And I thought, let me get a little more scientific with it and have some more ammo in this fight that I'm in. So I started reading it, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I read the opening in which he painted a picture of primitive life 3 million years ago, talking about a precursor to Homo sapiens, and the way that they lived, and talked about so far like why their brains became like that, and that's why our brains are like that. And how our brains now, then he skipped forward to 3 million years and talked about how our brains are being exploited. And I imagined, like, in the future, being able to get in touch with the author and do an interview on this channel, which I think would be really cool. Like, making my way through the whole book and having real questions to ask him, and getting a really solid interview in. I think that would be really dope. And this is a new book. It just came out last year. So super relevant to this whole channel, and made me feel good because it backed up like everything that I've been saying so far in this project. So it's always great to be reinforced by a real scientist. And then I watched a video that I really enjoyed that I will also link below called Train Your Attention Span So Good It Feels Weird to Scroll. So that had a bunch of great tips on how to be less stimulated and reacquaint yourself with boredom. And so I sort of started thinking about those tips and how to implement them, and started doing some stuff. And then it was time to go on a walk with my daughter and the dog, which this is really where things got interesting, because that was fresh on my mind, that video that I watched. And so I was like, okay, I'm not going to be distracted on this walk. I'm going to be in the moment, which I have, I really have to be anyway, because it's the sun has gone down. I have to be vigilant to threats. I have a child and a dog with me. But also just really thinking about presence of mind and not being distracted even in my thoughts. And so I step out. This was a Saturday night tonight. I step outside and I start talking to my daughter about what's going on. I said, hey, what's going on out here tonight? And I said, oh, what do I smell in the air? And I said, what do we see? Talking about the different senses to for us to be in the present. And then I step out, like outside of our apartment building area into the street, and there's this giant lit up blimp above, um, that was advertising a new movie that's coming out. And so we stood there and I taught her about the word blimp because I don't think I had taught her that word before. And she's like, she picks up on language super easily. She's almost a year and a half old and she's like, her language skills are amazing. And so she started saying blimp, blimp, blimp. I was like, yes, big blimp. And we just kind of watched it for a while. And I could hear like a bunch of things going on. And, it's Saturday night at like 8 p.m., 7:30, 8 p.m. And there was just like, there's this like giant blimp in the air and there's like an electricity in the air. And I could feel like the Saturday night plans. I don't know if you have that experience, but I feel like the, like nights have a certain personality a lot of times and you can feel a collective energy, what people are experiencing. Um, it could all be bullshit, but it's how I feel. It's like I felt like there was a presence in the air of of excitement and of letting loose and having fun on a Friday night. And then we started to walk around the neighborhood and I was noticing different things. I was noticing people, kind of people watching with her, and then noticing like all the different lights that were on in different houses because, people are having people over. So sort of looked into people's lives a little bit. And then a really good sign came up for me, which is I saw light a few times. Like I studied photography many years ago, then went on to get a filmmaking degree. And so I like used to really view the world more as a photographer. Like I used to notice light a lot more, which is a great tool for presence, obviously. Being in the moment enough to appreciate and see light. And this happened to me on our walk. There was some really interesting light in a few places, and I took a few pictures. And after taking the first one, and just on my iPhone, which is flawed, but you can kind of mess with some settings um, and sometimes get a really cool result. And I took the first one, and then I noticed after taking it that there was a perfectly placed person who was standing off in the distance down, and there were like lines leading to him, and the way that the light was positioned, and he was standing there. And I say he because after I took the photo, I saw that there was a person moving through that seemed to be a guy. And it was that same person, but I hadn't noticed when I took the photo that it was he was standing literally in the perfect position for this photo, way off in the distance. So that was cool. Um, it's cool when different factors like that come together, and that I was present enough to capture it. Uh, and then I took another one looking up uh, at an apartment building with a bunch of lights on that I thought was interesting. Um, and so we had a really nice walk, and Lucy, my daughter, and I were talking the whole time and present. And then we got home and we had a really nice nighttime routine. Uh, and it really makes me think about how beautiful it is when toddlers can keep us present, because like there is so much going on in their world and in their face and in their voice, and their fucking little sponges soaking every moment up. And so like it's such a gift to be present with a toddler, especially. Everything is new, has this novelty, like uh, in the world. And like I said, the way that she picks up language, the way that she um, absorbs things is just amazing. And so we had a really great time. Like we had um, there are just moments sometimes when we're together when we can have a lot of fun. She's very entertaining and funny and bright, and I definitely attribute the experiences that we had tonight and the things that we laughed about and the moments that we shared to this journey that I've been going on so far. Um, I've been trying to replace the word journey with project, because journey is a word that bothers me for some reason. I don't know, it feels like the wrong word a lot of times, and that it's overused. Let me know if you know what I mean. I've been trying to avoid the word journey, so I don't like that I just said it. This project. But that is why, my experiences from today are why I am naming this video "The World's Gaining Color." Or something to that effect, because that's how I feel, is like if I continue, as I continue, I should say, um, the world is going to continue to feel brighter. I really felt, especially when we were on our walk and looking up at different stars and things and not being so in my head, that I was um, reacquainting with how interesting the world really is. So that's super important. Um, so I think I'll leave you with that. There was one other reference, but I'm gonna save that for next video. Thank you for watching. And if you're playing along, because I've gotten a few comments so far talking about people who, from people who are trying to go on the same journey, please, like, let me know how it's going for you. And I'm excited that you guys have commented and that you are going through the same thing, doing the same kind of project. I won't say journey. Um, so let me know what your experiences are, and like and subscribe, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.